Hello, everybody. Today I can determine which intervals have the fastest and slowest average rate of change by looking at the slopes if I'm given a graph, or calculating the average rate of change for each interval if I'm given a table. So there's really like two types of questions within this question. If they give you graphs, if you can tell which segment is steepest, that one has the greatest average rate of change. The steeper the slope, the greater the average rate of change. The flatter the slope, the slower the average rate of change. For tables, it's a bit more annoying. There really are no shortcuts. You're just going to have to calculate the average rate of change for each interval and then state which is the greatest or the least, depending what the question's asking for. So let's start with a table, a graph. Let's actually do number two. So option one is 0 to 1, this blue piece. Option 2 is 1 to 1.5, this green piece. Option 3 is 2.5 to 5, this red piece. And option 4 is 5 to 8, this purple piece. So it's asking which had the greatest average rate of change. Well, whichever one has the steepest slope must be the greatest average rate of change. So, which ones definitely don't have the steepest slope? Purple's definitely the flattest. Now, I'm looking at this thing and I can see which one is the steepest, but if you're not sure out of what's remaining, I really don't think it's that red, because that's flattening out. So let's say you can't tell if it's the blue or the green. I can tell. I can tell if the blue is steeper. But if you can't tell and you're down to 2, well, now you're going to have to find the average rate of change for each. So the blue, this point right here is 0, 200. So for the blue, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I can pop that into the calculator if I need to. I've got alpha x, 200 minus 700 over 0 minus 1, and I have 500. So the average rate of change for the blue is 500. Now the green, I'm using these 2 points, bottom minus top over bottom minus top, alpha x, 700 minus 900 over 1 minus 1.5, 400. Which one has the greater average rate of change? 500 is more than 400, so your answer is choice 1. But if they give you a graph, whichever one is steepest, that's the greatest average rate of change. Whichever one is flattest, that's the slowest. So if this question said which one was the slowest, I know without a doubt that's the purple. So that would be my answer. I wouldn't even bother calculating anything. Like for number 1 here, when it says which one has the fastest average rate of change, it's very clear that this one has the steepest slope. Now, if they give us a table, this not quite as, especially let's do something like this. This really not as nice. There's really no shortcuts. It wants to know over which time interval is the average rate of change the greatest. I'm going to have to go through each choice and do it. So choice 1, it says month 10 to 60, XY, 10 to 60. 10 is 1172, 60 is 2591.90. I'm not going to write it out. I'm just going to write it out in the calculator. Bottom minus top, 2591.90 minus 1172. That's bottom minus top over, for the x's, bottom minus top. Choice 1 is 28.398. Now we'll go to choice 2. 19 to 69. 19 is 1352.00. 69 is 2990.00. Bottom minus top. I don't know where I'm going to put this. I can work it there. Perfect. 2990.00 minus 1352.00 over 69 minus 19, 32.76. Choice 3. I've got month 36 to 72. So 36 is 1770.80. 72 is 3135.80. Alpha X that thing. Bottom minus top, 3135.80 minus 1770.80 over bottom minus top for the X's, 72 minus 36, 37.916. And I got one choice left. I've got choice 4. XY, choice 4 is 60 to 73. 60 is 2591.90. 73 is 3186.00. Alpha X that thing. Bottom minus top, 3186.00 minus 2591.90. I know this is tedious. Over 73 minus 60. I got 45.7. Which one is the greatest? Well, 45.7 is the biggest of all those numbers. Choice 4 is the answer. If they give you a table, you're going to have to calculate the average rated change for all 4 of them and tell me which one's the greatest if it's asking for greatest, the least if it's asking for least, and if it gives you a graph, whichever segment is steepest must have the average rate of change. Cross out what you can cross out, and if you still are not sure, calculate whatever's left. That's it. Practice. Goodbye.